Good evening, good evening, good evening. And we supposed to have Caroline Cooper on at 8:30. We're just waiting for her now. I'll get Michelle to. Yeah. Anyway, how is everybody? How is everybody getting on? I hope everybody is well and doing okay. And everybody is okay. We're just waiting, and you know what it's like when we gotta wait. Waiting on the time to break free. We're just waiting, and hopefully it should be here very soon. I hope she won't be long. Here we go.
Hi.
Oh yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm sorry, I had to log in through my phone, and because I've not
All
done it
right.
through my phone before, I've had to go through all the rigmarole.
Oh, not a problem, not a problem. And
So it took a bit of time, but I'm here
anyway,
again. It's so good to see you.
yeah, and good to see you. Tell everybody a bit about yourself, because we've got a new show format. Yeah, tell us a bit about
Okay.
yourself.
Um, yeah, so I'm Caroline Cooper. I'm the writing facilitator, which has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within, starting off from being a maths teacher to then leaving to train in other fields and finding this and discovering a way of unlocking the writer within myself, because I hated writing. I hated words. I struggled with it. And now I'm finding it is coming easier. And I got a book on the go at the moment. I've got a couple of books, one which is still winking at me to say I've got to be finished. I've got to be finished. So what I now do is I actually support women in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. And right. Within that, there is healing as well. So what I've now realized is that it's a healing journey that happens as you write your story, as you write anything. And so I'm now can see where I can combine, or I am combining, what I've trained in and this unlocking the writer within. So there's two aspects of what I do are starting to come together. So yes, this year I'm reinventing myself, because I got to a point where last year I'm going, why writing? Why writing, Lord? Because there was still that struggle. There was still that realization that I didn't love it and enjoy it the same as I do maths. I love maths. I'll just stop everything and do some maths quite happily. And I realized that I didn't have that same way of being with writing. I won't just stop everything and go and do some writing. And that's what I'm working on creating within myself, finding that love, finding that joy, such that I would just stop everything and go and do some writing. You know?
Yeah, and it's like when you're teaching, when you used to be a teacher, maths teacher. Do you still love? Is it still kind of like memories coming back where, you used to be a maths teacher, and the writing is like put aside, and you're just thinking about what you used to do, or
No, it's more that I just love maths. Um, I I think it was more that joy of I can't because I last year there's a few times I've helped my grandchildren with their maths, and I just remember finishing going, oh, gosh, I've had the best time ever,
yeah,
and it connected me with that joy of maths, but also helping others to understand it. And I realized then that this is what I'm bringing to what I do now. It is that love, that enjoyment of supporting others where they're struggling, where they think that they can't do it, that they're stuck, that they're stupid, that is actually empowering them to find that confidence, that ability that is within them, and for them to
mm,
realize that they can do it. And so that love of seeing somebody just go, oh my goodness, it is what I love doing. But
yeah, yeah,
that's when I started to sort of stop pushing away the teacher side of me, because it is about helping others to it's about educating them, bringing out that learning from within.
yeah.
But
What's
for
the biggest?
sorry, go on.
Sorry, what's the
Yeah, I was going to
biggest?
say,
Sorry, go
no,
on.
no, no. I was going to say personally, if you give me the sort of two options to sit and do some maths or sit and do some writing, I'd go and do the maths every time. Uh, so as I say, that's what I've realised, and I am working on
Yeah,
bringing out that because I hear people say, "Oh, I love writing," and I'm going. I remember being in tears one day because somebody wrote to me and said, I just love writing, and it just touched me here, and I'm thinking, oh, I wish I had that love of writing. And I ran a writing retreat last year. It finally happened after a couple of years because through lockdown, I think I had changed the date about 5 times. And it finally happened last year. And there was one lady, it was a 5-day in person writing retreat. And there was one lady, she said it reconnected her with the joy of writing. And I was like, oh, wow, how beautiful. And I could feel that joy within her. And I thought, that's what I want to feel. I want to
mm,
feel the joy of just writing. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm work in progress, but I've got the tools to be able to eh, allow other people to experience that for themselves as well.
So, what compelled you to be the writer within? Then,
The writer within all the writing
yeah.
facilitator. Oh, what took me on this journey was quite a few years ago. It's probably about, I don't know, 16 years, 17 years ago, maybe more. I was sitting on a boat on San Francisco Bay, and I remember looking up at the mountainside there, looking, and at the top there was this mansion, and I went, "That's going to be mine one day." And then this voice in my head said, "Oh yeah, no, you can afford that," because then that would be 3 or 4 million. I mean, now obviously a lot more, but immediately that voice said, "Oh yeah, and how you can afford that?" What cut in was, "You're going to write a book." And it was so loud, so clear, and so emphatic in my head. I was like, no, 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 that can't possibly be true. I can't write a book. That's not me. And then I stopped and I went, well, okay, if I were to write a book, I wonder what it might be about. I started to get curious. How could I write a book? What could it be about? And so I think that sort of set me on that journey. And without realizing what I was doing, because I was focusing more on speaking and training to speak. And so, but on that journey, the writing sort of came out, and then I found myself helping other people with their writing. You know, people were saying, "Oh, could you help me write? I've got a piece of writing to do. Could you help me?" And I went, "Yeah." And that, so a few times that sort of happened. And I think it was just, when I think back, that curiosity took me on the journey, but the universe already had the idea that that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
And so just, yeah, things came my way. And then I had I decided, just something said to me, why don't I do a GCSE, no, an A-level English language, which is the advanced level English language, which I always believed I was not capable of doing. I never understood how I got my O level, which we did in those days. It was the ordinary level. And I decided to do it. So I did, and it's a 2-year course. Again, this was about 17 years ago now. And yes, it was tough going. I'd go in every week, ask the same questions about words that I didn't understand. But I got there and I did it. I used the tools and techniques that I trained in to be able to question the lecturer. So I got the understanding that I needed to be able to continue, and to also to write what I needed to write, and also to pass the exams. And it's like, I did it. I got this English language A level.
Yeah.
You know.
Well done. Well done.
And you know, so, and then I had an opportunity, must be about 6 years ago now, I think. Say time goes by, to take part in a collaborative book project. This lady just wanted, she was doing, it was free to enter, just wanted a 200 piece of writing. I can't remember what that one was about. I think it was to do with animals, or, you know, perhaps a pet that we had, or just a story about an animal. And so I just wrote a piece, so put it in, and it got accepted. And I'm now in, I think, 5 of her books with about 8 different pieces of writing.
Well
done. And so it's like, all of a sudden, you know, how you suddenly turn around and you go, my goodness, I'm actually a published author. How did that happen? You know, so yeah. And of course, along the way, I have got some books. I did go to a couple of courses on how to write a book, or how to structure a book, you know, just some quick ways of doing it. And I got so far with those, and then I didn't get any further. But those books are sort of in the pipeline. Whether I get those finished or not, I don't know. But I've got one that is, that's the one I'm working on and determined to get written this year.
Are you sort of a person who kind of don't have much confidence in yourself? Do you? Because I've been listening now for around about 10 minutes and of what you've been saying, and it's coming across where people in life hasn't given you a chance, and you feel, and because of that, you feel that there's no confidence in you to do it. You keep saying to yourself, "Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that." I tell you why I asked. It's because that's happened to me. People say, "Oh, no, you won't do that. I don't want to do this," and exactly the same. I passed my exams and stuff, and I've done all sorts. I've written a book. So
Yeah.
Is it the lack of confidence, or is it people?
It's the lack of, I wouldn't say it's people. I'd say, 'cause right back in primary school, even though I was top set, and in the secondary school I was top set, I was always bottom of the set.
Right.
So for me, that was my comparison, was in that class, because I had no reference to the other classes. Because in the primary school, we actually had 3 classes in each year group. So I was in the top set, but I was always rumbling around the bottom. So for me, all I could see were people are better than me. For me, I struggled. And even when I went to the secondary school that had 5 classes in a year group, I was in a top set, but I was around near the bottom. And it wasn't till I went and started teaching maths that I actually was able to put things into perspective and realize that actually I was top set of 5 sets. So actually maybe I wasn't as stupid as I thought.
No.
And also I'd got O levels and I'd got an A level. So maybe I was cleverer than I thought. But because I struggled so much and I was in that position in that class, that's where I think my belief sprung up, you know. And a lot of people being quicker thinking than me. It took time.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work, you know, with what I've trained in now, and my thinking has sped up.
Yeah.
I've been able to tweak my brain a bit so that, you know, the
Do you still
thinking
get that?
is
Or
much
do you
quicker.
still get? Sorry. Do you
Yes,
still get that? Where people, you know, where you think, you know, you're in a group situation, and you're thinking, well, you know, if I say something, it might turn out to be, you know, stupid or something like that. Or now, have you got the confidence to say, hang on, you know, I've got, you know, I'm here. I've got something to say, so listen.
I have got much more confidence
Mm.
to actually speak out and say I've got something to say and say it. And if somebody questions me, to actually be able to answer their question. Whereas before, if I was questioned, I'd be, oh, I don't know why they're asking me that. And that would then send me into doubt. Whereas
Yeah.
now I can actually maybe ask them another question. You know, what is it about what they're asking me that they want to know? But I can dance in the conversation much more easily. And it doesn't send me into a bit of a tiz and into a bit of a, oh, they're questioning me and I can't answer. If I can't answer in that moment, I will take a moment and say, well, hang on a second. That's a great question. Let me have a think. And I will give myself the time for the answer to come. Because for me, sometimes the answers, they take a bit of time to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I sort of get a feeling and a sort of sense of knowing. Or maybe I don't actually, there's a word that they've used and it doesn't mean anything to me. When as now I'm quite happy to say, well, that word that you've used is a bit dead on the page. It doesn't mean anything to me. Can you know, let's bring it alive. And I will explore it and bring it to life so that I actually understand what that person's talking about. And I'm happy to do that now. I enjoy that exploration, but I don't feel stupid because I have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel released now of it? Do you feel that you've because of what you accomplished, that there's a release?
A release of what, in what
Self-doubt?
sense?
Self-doubt?
Yes, I think maybe I'd say a letting go. So in that sense, yes, a release, a letting go
Yeah.
of self-doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about let's talk for the last 10 minutes or so. Let's talk about your business and what you do, and let's start encouraging people coming to you. So if clients come to you and they ask what you do and everything, tell them what you do, what you kind of can offer them, and how they can contact you.
I think the best thing is to actually get in touch and have a conversation with me, because it's what in the discussion, talking with them, hearing about their own writing journey, where they're at with it, that I can then offer them or suggest one of my programs or courses that might be suitable to support them. Because I've got various programs. I've actually got a membership group
All right.
whereby we what it does, it gives time and space to write twice a week. One slot is an evening session, one is a morning session, and that's each week. And it's an 80-minute session whereby you get 25-minute sessions to actually write. But then the other sort of 10 minutes at the beginning, they're just saying what they're going to be writing. In the middle, I actually get them to type in the chat how it was, what came up. And then I'll do some brain gym or some tapping or play some music, do a meditation, just to shift things with whatever's come up. Maybe there's some fears, there's some anxieties. Sometimes people are distracted or they haven't been able to get into it. And so I work on that just for a few minutes. And then they write again, and then we come together again for the last 10 minutes. And there's always something shifted. And the people that have been with, I started it last year, and those that have been coming regularly have really made some shifts. It's literally just a little bit each week, and it's surprising how over time they've achieved quite a lot. And it may be that it's the book that they're writing, or some people have been writing their business plans, or they've been writing out their vision. But there was one other lady who she only came a few times, that she was able to make sort of a few times, but she got her book finished. It made such a difference to her just being in that session that it got her moving forward with it, and actually got it completed and is now being edited and on its way to being published. So a variety of things that it can support people with, but it's that regular time and space to write. So that's my membership group. And then I've got a 2-day virtual writing retreat, which actually what that does helps heart-centered entrepreneurs to remove blocks and enable them to become more expressive, creative, and productive with their writing. And that goes quite deep with connecting with that inner ability to write. That one, I'm actually thinking of creating it more as a 6-week course eventually, because it's quite intense in the 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that doing it over 6 weeks, the 6 sessions that I go through in the 2 days, it gives time for each session to fully integrate, for some more writing to be done in between, and for it to bring out even more over that period. So that's sort of what I'm working on at the moment. But I do have a 2-day virtual writing retreat coming up. There was going to be one next weekend, not this weekend, the following weekend, but I'm putting it back. I've got another one at the end of April, April 29th and 30th. So those are 2 things that I'd suggest, which help people to just connect with that inner writer.
Right.
But the main thing is to and I've been running my a free writing challenge, a 5-day writing challenge, and that has had a lot of people succeed in connecting with their writing, creating what I call the foundational framework for their piece of writing, and a lot of shifts that people have had with that. They've really got to understand what it is I do, because it's more being able to experience what I do is where you get the understanding. It's not quite so easy in just telling people. But really, yeah. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, and I've also got a Facebook group called Get Your Book Written. If people want to find that and join me there. I am in the process of getting a website sorted. Hopefully that will be up running within the next few weeks. And then people will be able to find me there and find everything on there. But yeah, do get in touch. And I prefer to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because then, as I say, I get to know people's journey, how they are with writing, what it is they want to do. And very often people suddenly start realizing that they've got more to offer than they think, and that actually maybe a book is a good idea, or their story is a good idea to write, or things that they had got in the back burner for years, perhaps now is the time to start doing it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So
yeah, get in touch with me and let's have a chat. I just love to hear people's stories, about writing.
And the last question, so anybody can join, if they're writers or interested in writing. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Can join what?
Join your group.
My group, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And you will talk to, of course, they might have to pay fees and stuff. So you'll talk to them too about how much it would cost and everything.
That's the membership group.
Yeah.
The Facebook group is a free group. Get your book written. But my membership group, which is called the Writers Garden Sanctuary, is a monthly paid membership. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I just had to answer it for somebody called Hazel. So there you go, Hazel. All right.
There you go. Yeah.
So you
Great question.
Yeah. I've got some questions here for you, if you don't mind, for the last 4 minutes. How can I be a writer within? Good question.
How can you be a writer within? You have a writer within you. So it's unlocking the writer within you. You have an ability to write. Everybody has the ability to write. It's just that some people have it developed more than others. So what I do is help you to connect with that deeper innate ability to write. And so that's what I'm talking about, unlocking the writer within. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I'm just kind of like answering these lovely viewers' questions.
Yeah, I love the question. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you got some more here. How can I be an author? Does it cost me quite a lot of money?
You can be an author by just being published. I mean, you can self-publish on Amazon. You don't need to go to these great big publishing companies to get started. So it doesn't need to cost you a lot.
No, it doesn't cost. No, I think I had mine with Amazon. I know somebody did it for me, but I had it with Amazon, and it doesn't cost that much now.
No.
And you've got to be so careful, because some people will charge you thousands, and that's where you've got to be clued on.
Yeah. The thing is, you need to get it written first.
Yes.
Because you can't publish what isn't written. And I do find people focus on the publishing side, but they're not focusing on the written part of it. They need to get it written, and it needs to be written well, because sometimes people put things in, get them edited, and they get it all back and they get disheartened because there's so much editing needs doing. When I work with people, because you're unlocking that writer within, there's less editing that actually needs doing at the end.
Yeah. Do you believe that everyone has a story to tell?
Absolutely. Everybody's got a story to tell. You've lived your whole life. There's something that you have to tell. And it's not necessarily the whole of your life story. There could be something, just one little thing that happened. And it doesn't have to be a traumatic incident. It could be something that's really exciting and that's actually, that happened that can motivate somebody, because I think, oh, wow, that's interesting. You never know what might just help somebody else, because it might give them the courage or the confidence to go and do something they've been putting off doing, or it might just give them some tools, something that you've picked up, and an idea that you discovered that you ran with, and they might go, oh, and they might try it out, and it just might help them in some way. So we've all got a story within us to tell. And maybe you've done some training, maybe you've done You've changed careers, you've changed jobs, there's a whole lot of things,
Yeah.
And it is just through the discussion that suddenly people realize, well, actually, I do have something to say. We've all
Yeah.
got a story or something to say and to share with the world. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, folks, we got to go to the news, but thank you, Caroline. That was
Thank you.
lovely. That was really lovely. If you want to know more about Caroline, please go on our webpage and all the links will be on there. And please do go over to our Facebook site and it's good to kind of like start writing. And I remember one day someone said to me, Steve, can you, why don't you write a book? And I said, I can't do it. But then I did. And I
You
was
did.
really, really proud.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I love speaking to you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I love being here with you and talking again. I've missed it.
Thank you. Don't worry. We'll be in touch. Don't worry. Bye-bye
Okay.
for now, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.